What is up, my friend? You're listening to the Anthony John Amix podcast, and this is episode number 12. And it's all about how to get more followers on Instagram organically. And in this episode, I'm going to be bringing on my good friend and my client, Subi Zimmerman, who is one of the world's leading Instagram experts. I mean, after all, she's not considered the Instagram expert for nothing. In fact, that is her Instagram handle. And we're going to be unpacking what it truly takes to gain more followers and, more importantly, more buyers on Instagram in 2020. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Welcome to the Anthony John Amix podcast, the one and only podcast designed to help you become unstoppable in life and business. My name is Anthony John Amix. My friends call me AJ, and my goal with this podcast is to help you remember who you truly are so you can maintain your center in the chaos, embody your potential, and unlock freedom in your life and business. That being said, let's get into today's show. All right, well, welcome back. Today's guest is a freaking rock star. I mean, she speaks on stages all around the world, teaching people how to use Instagram for business. She has a team of 7 or 10 people now who absolutely love. I mean, they adore working with her. And I've had the wonderful pleasure of guiding and coaching her team for, past 2 years now, I think. And we met back in 2014 in a mastermind. And man, we just gelled together. I felt like I had known Sue my entire life. Like we just hit the ground just running. In fact, I hired her back 2014, I think, or 15, somewhere in there, as my coach. And then, tables turn and she's working with me now. And I am very grateful to call her a friend. I mean, not just like a client and not just like a friend. I mean, no, Sue's definitely, she's a homie. And I just have a ton of fun being around her. And she has a huge heart for inspiring people to really go after their dreams. But before I bring on Sue, I want to let you know about her official 2020 Instagram strategy guide. It will give you 4 strategies to help make Instagram your most profitable place to market your business, no matter your age or your experience level. And you can grab that for free right now by going to SueBZimmerman.com. And I know the strategies have been updated for what's working now, and that information will make everything that Sue shares during this episode even more powerful for you. So go to SueBZimmerman, ZIMMERMAN, SueBZimmerman.com to grab the 2020 Instagram strategy guide right now. All right, let's bring on my good friend, Sue B. Zimmerman.
Let me get my mat to stand on.
Okay. Sue, what's up? How are you doing?
I'm good. It's it's 4:00 Boston time and it's pitch black outside. So I need some sunshine and vitamin D. That's how I'm doing.
Man, it's 11:22 p.m. here in Romania, in my beautiful, wonderful kitchen of our Airbnb, but we move every 2-3 weeks. So it just is what it is. You know what I mean?
Loving the work-life balance, buddy. Travel, work from anywhere.
Exactly. How's Roger been? Do you guys get some Torchy's tacos lately?
Haven't been there yet this year, but not this year. But maybe we'll visit next year. He loves those tacos. You know that.
I know. Every time I go buy one, I'll take a little picture. I send it to you in the DMs of Instagram, and then you hit me back with some crazy little face picture.
Yeah.
So here's today, we're going to be talking about kind of all things related to getting, more followers and more buyers on Instagram in 2020. You're one of the best people on the planet. So let me just kick this thing off by starting with a simple question. So Instagram launched over 9 years ago. Can you believe it's 9 years ago? It's kind of crazy to me. If I got my date right, maybe you're wrong. You can correct me if I'm wrong. It was October 6th of 2010. Did I get that right?
You did.
Okay, cool. So now here we are. We're, January 2020. Is it too late for somebody to go all on Instagram this year? Have they missed the boat? What are your thoughts on that?
Is it too late? Obviously early adopters come out ahead, but I don't think it's too late as long as you are willing to be consistent and show up and have a strategy that's going to work for your business, for your brand, for your movement, for whatever it is that you do. The word really, and you know this because you consistently show up, you can't be on any platform unless you commit and you're consistent.
Makes sense to me. Now, why do you believe Instagram is the platform people should be making the decision to go all in on in 2020? I think it's actually one of the ones to probably go all in on. But I want to hear your thoughts on this.
Yeah, so I think there's a lot of reasons. I mainly because Instagram now has four different neighborhoods, I call them, where you can be
Yep.
creating content and amplifying your message. So whether it's the feed, stories, IGTV, or Instagram Live, and I just got off an Instagram Live, it is the most intimate place, in my opinion, where you can really have a conversation and talk to a target audience. And not only in those four areas, but also in the direct message, which is the most intimate place that you can connect one to one with somebody and literally like instantly see when a message is come in and respond within seconds, if not minutes, of getting a notification. And so, for those reasons, plus because it's visual, and people have been saying this for the past 9 years, people process visuals so much faster than written words. But there's this whole opportunity to have Instagram be like your go-to website, where you literally have a feed that is curated in a way that shows you as that authority. I like to call this like a digital magazine. So where you are showing who you are, what you do, and why you do it. And so that feed lives on forever. And then there's this ability to have your own radio or TV station, if you will, with stories on the daily. This used to cost back in the 50s thousands of dollars to do an
Sure.
ad on TV, and now you can like literally talk about whatever you want to your people. And there's also on IGTV, there's the opportunity to take that, like you were telling me in the green room, where you can take that video content and repurpose it for another use somewhere else. And
Makes
yeah, and on lives you can now bring on guests, just like this. Where here we are in Zoom on an Instagram Live, you can bring on a guest, and you could,
really.
yeah, you can repurpose that and save that. And there's just so many ways to use Instagram strategically for business. And what I hear over and over and over is that Instagram is fun, is that you get to control who you see, who you don't see, what you do, what you don't want to do. And it's easy once you've mastered what's going to work for your business. It really is.
So good. Now, one of the things that we were talking about in the green room, as you called it, was direct message, and you had a company reach out to you. Do you think the DM part of Instagram is like probably one of the biggest opportunities most people are missing out on Instagram right now?
Oh, I think it's the biggest opportunity in online marketing, period. I will tell you that 4, maybe 5 years ago, when I spoke at Social Media Marketing World, and I literally sent every speaker an Instagram direct message asking them if they use Instagram direct message, because my talk was about Instagram direct message, but I was way before my time then, because I think one, if not two speakers reached back out to me and said they were and why, but a lot of people thought it was kind of spammy. I know that you used to teach Twitter back in the day, and a lot of people felt like the DM messaging was very similar to kind of like the spammy feeling that people were getting from tweets in the DM.
Sure.
And so it's taken a while for people to get used to the Instagram direct message. And also over time, Instagram has added so many features that makes it so easy to send a text, a link, a video, an audio, a GIF, a quick reply, a video chat you can have with anybody in the world, up to 6 people in the DM. I mean, the DM is really its own little app platform within Instagram, in my mind.
Sure, sure. I think, coming to the DM piece and it becoming spammy, I think it all becomes back to a person's intent and then the way that they go about it, right? Because I get DMs in my Instagram, and some of them totally are spammy, but it's just kind of the way they're coming across. They're usually asking for something. They're usually not doing it the way that you teach very, very well, and the way that you model very, very well. In fact, I know you use DMs to close hundreds of thousands of dollars in your business, but you just kind of treat it as an extension of who you are as a human being. Like if we went, before Instagram, let's go even before mobile phones. It's almost like leaving, I think maybe, we'll just see if this lands. It's almost like leaving somebody a message on the answering machine, like calling your friend and then leaving them, right, a little audio message or a video in this case. But it just kind of has that vibe of just like, hey, just calling to check up on you, how you doing, type of vibe, rather than some scripted, very influential piece of content. Would you agree?
Yeah, and I can detect something scripted that was, taught by someone that said this is how you do it and this is how you do it all day long to go after a new lead. Not every person on Instagram is the same person. So you can't literally replicate the conversation that you would have with someone selling a product versus someone selling a service. And when that Instagram message comes in the DM and it doesn't feel good, your initial response is either to block, report, delete, and say, yuck, why
Yeah.
did you even make me feel that way? It's like an energy suck versus, I thought that you would appreciate learning this. Because of that, let me know if this helps you. This is all about them. This is not about you and your ego. It's what's in it for them and how can you serve them and help them and elevate them based on what they need. And so that's how I go about Instagram direct messages. I use them very strategically, as you said. I have a YouTube video all about how to use the quick reply, which is my favorite way to just reply to frequently asked questions that are similar. So it's strategic. And even though it's a quick reply, I might add an additional emoji or two or word. Sure. Or add the first name of the person. Everyone loves their name. It's their favorite word. So I try to personalize, to your point, as much as possible so people really feel like I am talking just to them and I created the message just for them.
Yep.
And I think just a lot of people go about it completely wrong.
What are the ways that you see that people are going about it wrong?
Well, it's become more and more evident to me in stories. There's now bots that are engaging in Instagram story stickers, the poll and the Instagram question sticker. So someone came up with this bot that essentially answers a question, and it's like, I like health and wellness, and I think you would too. And my question is, what do you think about the quick reply? And okay. Or, hi, Instagram expert, I love your content. Hi, Instagram expert, I love your content. And I got like 5 of those in the question sticker. And then I'm
Sure.
like, so what I did, because this is what I do, is I'm like, I'm curious, are you using a bot? I'll ask, I'm curious, is this a bot? And they'll be like, yeah, I get such great engagement from using a bot. And I'm like, but it's just random. Everything's so random. And when you do things in a random way and it's not specific to the content or the context, you get random results. So it doesn't matter if you're getting new likes or new followers. It's, are they the right ones? And are they people, because behind every avatar is a person, are they people that you would actually enjoy working with? And if there's anything that you taught me, AJ, it's all about qualifying those that I want to serve so I can lead the life that makes me the happiest.
So
right?
Good. So good.
Yeah. And so this is just random shit that I'm seeing in the DM, and it's just like, you don't know who you're messing with over here.
Man, it happens to me too. I get those same bots and, I love your content or I love the picture, whatever, right? And I always respond back, well, what specifically did you enjoy about the content, or what specifically was your biggest aha? And then I get no response, right? The bot can't respond to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What are some ways that you're using DM personally to really close? I mean, literally hundreds of thousands of dollars with DMs. What are some of the ways that you're doing that?
Yeah. So I am able to identify individuals who are consistently showing up and either commenting on my post or watching my stories. I pay attention to the avatar, to the person, to the comments. And when I tap in and see that it's someone that I really think I could serve and would want to work with, I do a little I do a little reach out saying, you seem like you would be perfect for this 90-day coaching program that I have. Let me know if you want to hear more information. I'm not dropping a link. I'm not saying fill this out. I'm letting them decide if they want more information. And I think this is a big mistake that people make. You need to let other people decide what they want. And when people say, yes, I'm interested, please send it to me, then I will send an application. Because like I just said earlier, we qualify everyone that we coach. And if they're not the right fit, they could be the right fit for our signature course, Ready, Set, Gram. They might not be the right fit for our high level coaching, Ready, Set, Gram Pro, but they could be a good applicant for that, a good
Exactly.
person for that. So I like for them to come back to me. And when someone says, oh my gosh, I can't even believe you noticed me, I'm like, of course I notice you. You leave such nice, thoughtful, long comments, and you are the kind of energy that I like to attract. And so when you say words like that to people where you're being honest, first of all, and you're qualifying them and you're conversing with them, because in my mind, a conversation leads to an opportunity, but it needs to have context to either the content that you shared in your feed or the story, and it needs to make sense for them as well. So I spend a lot of time in the DM. I spend a lot of time on Instagram. It literally is what I do, where I spend the most time in my business, in addition to educating and teaching and coaching. But it really are these little touch points that I think business owners want, need, and crave in today's modern online marketing.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, the thing is every human on the planet wants to feel seen and heard. You know, I mean, at a human level, this is a basic human need. We want to feel seen. We want to feel heard. So when you're taking time out of your life and you're seeing them and you're hearing them, of course, you're going to deepen the bond. They're going to want to buy stuff from you. They're going to like you more. They're going to trust you more. They're going to respect you more. And this is something we always talk about in coaching. Is like, how much can we help your audience, trust you and respect you? And if we can increase that more and more and more and more, then of course they're going to want to buy more stuff. And especially in this online space where people do want to automate fucking everything in their business as much as possible and work from their laptop on the beach. It's these little touches that unfortunately really stand out and really help you really grow a thriving business. So it's so interesting to me how simple it is to actually stand out. And it really comes down to just be a human. Like, it's kind of crazy, isn't it?
Well, you said a word that I think of every single day when I wake up, which is touch points. Yep. So my commitment is first to myself with my morning routine. And then it's like, how can I make the biggest impact and commit to community members, either those in Ready, Set, Gram, those in my pro, or other people that I really want to reach out and touch. And how can I make them smile, make them happy, inspire them? So whether I am simply sending a quote, and it might not necessarily be mine, it might be somebody else's on Instagram, and say, this made me think of you, that makes people smile. I am not asking for anything. I am not selling anything. I'm just saying, this made me think of you. Or if I'm out in Budapest or traveling where I was in LA recently or wherever I am, if I see something in a window at a store and I know that one of my clients has that similar business and I saw something a little different, I will send it to them and say, oh my gosh, I'm thinking of you. And I just saw this in the window. What do you think of this? And they're like, oh my God, I cannot believe that you just sent me that when you were away on vacation or traveling. And it's like, that's my way. That's my way of saying that I'm committed to what I'm doing and I want you to learn and grow and understand, what else is out there for you and your business. And so I love doing these touch points.
I do too. I have something I've learned from you. I do it myself. If I'm by a Torchy's taco stand, I take a picture, I send it over to you. I do this though to some clients and just people that I want to continue deepening the relationship. So part of it is strategic, don't get me wrong, but it really is more of just very genuine and authentic. It's like, I really enjoy this human. I want to deepen the relationship. And, and as that's kind of in my brain, I just find these opportunities. Like, for instance, Christopher John Stubbs, he's on the podcast. I think he's episode number 4 or something like that. 2, 3, I don't remember exactly. Anyway, where were we traveling? I think Sarah and I were we were outside of Lisbon in a little city called Sintra, Portugal, which is beautiful, by the way. If you guys haven't been, it's a wonderful city. And it was like Christopher's bakery since like 1800 and something. And wow. So I took a little picture and then sent it to Christopher, and I was like, dude, you have been making bread for a really long fucking time. And I had like a little pointy thing, and we just, we just laughed about it. It was fun, you know what I mean? And it took what? 2 minutes out of my day, 3 minutes out of my day, and it was very fun. And he felt seen, heard. It's just a beautiful thing when you can do these
Mm,
little touch points. It's awesome. I love it.
totally agree.
So let
Yeah.
me ask you another question. If somebody wanted to make Instagram their most profitable place to market, like for their business in 2020, what are the steps that you would recommend them to follow? Because I know you have a very, very good roadmap.
Yeah. So first and foremost, it's coming up with a good Instagram account name that's not confusing, that literally is either your name or your business name, because when it's like 5 words and hard to remember, it's hard to find you because people search most people by name. So having the right account name is so important, and more importantly is having the right bio. So your bio is essentially the only place on Instagram where there is SEO, and you want to make sure that you have your subtitle with those words that people would use to search you. So Instagram tips, Instagram marketing, business coach, author, maybe you have a bakery in Boston, like literally putting the keywords the in the subtitle. So many people, 9 out of 10 people don't do this. And it really is the best way for you to get found when people are searching. And by the way, emojis are also searchable. So you can use your favorite emojis there. And then coming up with the right way to say who you are, what you do, and why you do it in your bio. You get 150 characters for that. And saying it in a way, and on Instagram, it's different than any other platform. You don't have to have periods and the right punctuation. You literally need to say it in a snappy, fun, succinct way, and then having a call to action. A lot of people don't have a call to action. Click the link in my bio to grab my free strategy guide. Click the link in my bio to learn from my last podcast or YouTube channel, and like YouTube video, or saying what's in it for them, what's in it for them, what's in it for them. It's always what's in it for them, not what's in it for you. And so that's how I coach and teach. And then I really want the listeners to hear this, that your avatar photo, your profile photo is smaller than a dime, and it is a huge opportunity to shine. And if that photo is blurry, if that photo isn't professional, if that photo isn't a representation of your business or brand, it's the wrong photo. So you want to be memorable in that avatar and stand out. And then as far as Instagram goes, so much has changed since 9 years ago when it was just the feed. And like I said earlier, it literally is a digital magazine where the promise that you made in your bio, that promise is essentially the cover of a magazine. And if you're not matching up the content that you're showing in your feed to the promise that you're making, you're losing that trust that AJ and I were talking about earlier. And so when you lose trust, you lose interest. If you lose interest, you're not going to get a follower or any engagement for that matter. So it's so important to kind of take a audit of your feed and make sure that what's showing, what's there, matches up to what you're currently doing. And if not, you can archive it. I just did a YouTube video teaching you how to do that. And just really being cognizant of, is this the impression that I want to make? If it's the first impression, like, is this a representation at the highest level of my business and brand?
Makes perfect sense. And so once they have the profile and they're shining and they got the profile dialed in, where would they go from there?
So from the profile, it's coming up with a strategy around your digital voice, your we like to call it buckets. So we encourage all of our clients to come up with about 5 to 7 buckets. So buckets are essentially your interests or your core values. And so when you break it down into buckets, it makes it really easy to figure out what to post. And you're not scattered every day with, oh my God, I don't know what I'm gonna post on Instagram today. Because if you're sharing a yoga move or what you're eating, and that has nothing to do with your business, you shouldn't be posting. You should be engaging and doing outreach and market research instead of just posting to check it off. So I always encourage people to come up with their digital buckets, and we do this. We take people through this on our onboarding call. When they've joined our pro program, we basically set up their Instagram bio for success, and then we talk about those digital buckets and the ones that make the most sense. And this is a lesson that we teach in Ready, Set, Gram as well, but we go deeper in pro. By the way, AJ, my word for 2020
It's deep. I know. We're going to talk about that post interview here. I'm so excited for you.
It's such a good word. I'm like, ah.
Well, let's talk about it now, actually. What about that word is like your 2020? Why are you picking deep as your word?
Because when I think of the word deep, it means less distractions.
Yeah.
It means going deeper with those who I want to serve, my audience, my fans, my followers, my community members, my husband, my family, and not feeling like I need to find or do more, but go deeper in the things that make me the happiest. And it feels so good to
Yeah,
say
it
it.
does. It does. Now, if somebody wanted to go deep on Instagram in 2020, we talked about the bio, we've talked about their buckets. How would they go deep with less distractions, but still going deep on Instagram to become, kind of that is their big marketing platform for 2020? I have some
Yes.
ideas of what I want to do for
Okay.
2020, but I'm curious of your thoughts.
So my thought right now, today, as we speak, in is to commit to doing Instagram lives, which I do every Monday at 3 p.m. EST. I do a live to talk about my content that I've created on YouTube, but having guests. So not only am I talking about the content and amplifying that content and going deeper with what I'm teaching, I'm bringing on relevant guests that can add value to that content. And I am committed also to at least one other live broadcast that week. Now, in the past, I'll let you all know that I was committed and I've done about 30 Instagram stories takeovers, which is another deep strategy to do. It just requires a little bit more scheduling, and because of the getting in with a password and just getting someone to give you their account is a little vulnerable for the person on the other side. But I've done it for Social Media Examiner, for Traffic and Conversion, for Chris Ducker. I've done it for so many other Instagram accounts, but it takes a while to set that up. Whereas when I do an Instagram live interview, very similar to a podcast interview, I can send an Instagram direct message, audio message, or video message asking if they're interested in doing a live interview. And when they say sure, then we create the content together with what that would look like and what that experience would be for the listeners. And so typically I will announce it in my stories like I did today, and then I'll tag the guest and they will share it in their stories. And then when everyone's on the live broadcast, there's an opportunity for you to instruct all the listeners to share that live broadcast, whether it's on the live or on the replay for 24 hours. And if you're smart about how you do your live, meaning having a call to action at the beginning, middle, and end, and really staying on subject matter and not going down rabbit holes, you can really do an awesome live broadcast where people walk away with, oh my God, I didn't even know that Sue knew about that. Like
Sure.
it's on Instagram as the platform, but it's talking to a guest that really can help you talk about another aspect of your life or your business or an experience that's going to help those listening. And so one of my little ninja tips that I always do is I tell people to stay to the end, going deeper. And I'm going to tell you something that I haven't taught anywhere else. And that keeps them on or makes them want to listen to the end of the live. And I always am true to my word. I teach something that I've recently have discovered as a ninja tip, or it's a quick, easy lesson. And people are like, oh my gosh, I just love that I learned that. So it's building that trust and enjoyment. I mean, you're essentially, like I said earlier, a little TV station, and you're broadcasting on your channel, and you get to choose how dynamic you want that to be and how professional you want that to be. And I'm constantly thinking about every single detail for the listener.
It's amazing. And for those listening, one of the things that we want to talk about today was like how to generate and get more followers organically on Instagram in 2020. And these are two totally free organic strategies that work very, very, very well. One was the Instagram takeovers, the story takeovers, right? And this other one where you're using IG Live, right? Instagram Live to then interview. You reach out to people via direct message and then you interview, and then they're inviting their people, you're inviting their people, you're asking the people who are watching it to share it out to their people and tag, and
Yeah.
all of this is going to help you get more and more exposure if you follow Sue's advice here and you go deep and you stay consistent. As you heard her say, it was a Tuesday, right? Every Tuesday, 3 p.m., right? Or Monday?
Every Monday,
Monday.
every Monday at 3 p.m. And there's one more thing I can say about this organic. You want to hear it?
Yeah, please.
So another thing that I love doing, and this is one of my favorite quotes, which is, the more you shine the light on others, the more the light shines on you. It's one of my favorite slides that I have when I speak, and it usually gets retweeted a lot. But in our Ready Set Graham community, there are so many creative people. There are artists and crafters and DIYers and photographers and just amazing talent. And so one of the other things that I do is not only talk about them in my feed and in my stories, but I occasionally do giveaways from those businesses. And I reach out. In fact, we're doing one tomorrow, December 10th, 2019. And there are 6 members of the community that are giving away their products as part of a giveaway for the holiday season. And then on Wednesday, we're going to have a really big, grand prize giveaway from another member in the Ready Set Graham community. So what does this do? What this does is it lets people know that you have a kick-ass community that other people probably want to be a part of. And yeah, it's called Ready Set Graham community. And people really see the attention to shining the light on community members. And when you do this and other people get to meet them and see them and connect with them, they're going to get more followers, they're going to get more business, and your program gets more attention, and hopefully more people buy it. Like, it's like a win-win for everybody, right?
Yeah, it makes sense. Now let's switch gears a little bit. We talked about like followers and building a following. What is your favorite strategy for gaining more buyers? Because it doesn't matter if people have a bunch of followers, if they're not their ideal people, right? And they're not going to buy their stuff, and then it's all kind of a waste of time. So what is your favorite strategy for generating more buyers from Instagram?
So one of the communications that I do with people, again, I ask them if they're ready or if they want to. Are you ready to make money on Instagram? Would be a conversation once we've had a back and forth. Or are you ready? Are you interested in my signature course, Ready, Set, Graham? Once they've asked me a question and I've answered it, maybe they've asked a question on a post, and then I'll take that conversation into the DM because they're asking a lot of questions, and I'm like, they need my course. They need my course. When you identify that someone needs what you have, what you're selling, what you create, it is your job to tell them. It's not their job to figure it out. Believe it or not, it is your job as the content creator and the producer to let someone know that you have that solution to the problem. And so I'm very comfortable and, as you know, confident to say this because I know that our paying customers get results. And so I will ask them if they're ready. And when they say, yeah, tell me more, that's when I'm able to take it into a sale, like send them the link to buy it, or to do the 3 keys training,
Exactly.
which is our signature training that we have online.
Yeah, and the thing I like about this is you're not crafting some crazy sales pitchy thing. It's very conversational. You're answering people's questions, very value driven. And then when it's getting to a place where they need to walk through, let's say, a payment gateway that's relevant to one of the offers you have, you just ask, hey, do you want to make money on Instagram? Are you ready? Are you ready to make money on Instagram?
Are you ready?
Yeah. Hey, are you ready to invest in, getting your account to 10,000 followers so you have a targeted tribe? Hey, are you ready? So it's just so simple. And they can either say yes or I think so. Can you tell me more about it? And then you could go into answering some of their questions. It's so simple. I love how simple it is.
It is so simple. And the truth is, sometimes it takes people longer than others. So I think it's so important for your listeners to hear that they might not be ready right now, but don't give up on them. They might be ready later. And so a lot of my relationships have been nurtured over the past 7 years. In fact, yesterday Sunday? Yeah. Yesterday, I actually had a conversation with someone on the weekend because I did this impromptu Facebook Live to our Ready, Set, Graham group, just kind of saying, sometimes being spontaneous is a good thing. Sometimes not literally having it scheduled is a good thing because you never know other people, on the weekend, sometimes their guard's down. So I did this impromptu live, and I recognized someone that I've recognized for a long time. And I said to Tina, so good to see you here. It's been forever. She's been following me since my store days, Scooby-Doo days, and she's watched me grow. And I then sent her a private Instagram message or Facebook message, I think it was, because I went live on Facebook. And I said, I think you would be perfect for our 90-day coaching program. Let me know if you're interested in having me send you information. And she said yes. And I sent her the link. I sent her the information. And I said, if you want to talk about it, just let me know. I have some time today, because it's just like R&R with the hubs on Cape Cod. And we got on a call, and she's like, I am signing up for this. And this is amazing. It came at the perfect place in my life. And I've been looking for a coach for a long time. And she's like, you're going to love this, AJ. She said, you're doing something very similar to what Frank Kearns does. and I said, what's that? She's like, you're qualifying who you want to work with. And I said, yeah, we have an application. And if it's not the right fit, we'll let you know. So that seamlessly happened, obviously, from a Facebook Live. I went live on Insta. I went live in my Facebook group and took the conversation to Instagram further, and then back to Facebook. But the point is, she's been following me for a long time, almost 6 years, and she's ready to invest in herself. She's ready to invest in her business, but it was not the right time before this. So keep those relationships strong, keep nurturing, keep loving, keep giving. They will talk about you, even if they can't afford to buy, or it's not the right time, because when it's the right time, they will.
Yeah. And one other thing to keep in mind here, because she's coming into pro, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think this is a big lesson for me. I invested in Brendan Burchard's event 2013, 2012. It had to be 2012, I guess. 2012, 2011, somewhere around there. 2000, I think it was 2012. Anyway, it was a $10,000 event. It was a big event, right? Very, very expensive. But I never bought any of his courses at that time. No courses, no books. In fact, I still haven't. And so I think oftentimes people, in this game of funnels and all of this, they want the result fast, right? They think there's things broken. And here you are, a perfect example where you've nurtured this relationship, just giving and giving for 6 or 7 years. And it wasn't like you're going out of your way to like mentor this person for free and hope she's going to buy something. That's not what I'm saying. You're just doing your thing, creating content. She's consuming it. And then here she is, rather than buying Ready, Set, Gram, which is a fantastic course, one of the best courses on Instagram marketing there is on the planet. It's very, very good. She just went bam to pro.
No. She's in Ready, Set, Gram, and I went live in Ready, Set, Gram. But she bought it the very first year we sold it.
Gotcha.
So she has been a member of Ready, Set, Gram for a long time, and was just not ready to up level because of happenstance, personal situation. And then she's like, I'm ready. And she said to me, AJ, I have watched you grown, and I have watched you turn into the badass business boss leader that you are. And they always say, hire someone, find someone who has done exactly what you want to do. And that's what she said to me. Yeah.
So good. Okay, we'll take everything I just said, throw that in the trash, because that was irrelevant. Still kind of relevant, but irrelevant.
It's okay. Yeah, it's okay.
So let me ask you another question. What are some of the biggest mistakes you're seeing people make on Instagram, and it's keeping them from having more followers or more buyers? What are those mistakes you're seeing?
So I see a lot of random content that has no relevancy to their target audience that they're trying to attract. They're either just doing what other people are doing because they see other people doing it, or they're not thinking it through with high-level strategy, and they're not being their true, authentic self in their own voice. They might have followed someone or watched someone or thought that was the right way. Well, the right way is honestly your way. It's not their way. It's your voice. It's your personality. And when you infuse true authenticity, and I will use Sarah Blakely as the gold standard, the founder of Spanx, the wealthiest woman billionaire in the US, my total girl crush. I love everything about Sarah. When you show up as your true authentic self, and you share from the heart, and you show how vulnerable life is and how imperfect you can be. Like, she put on a dress backwards when she got interviewed on TV, and she's like, oh my God. Mother of 4 under 10, and she shows us everything. And she doesn't need to. But she is the face of her business, of her brand. And she has said in her masterclass, which I listened to, that she wants to have change the way that people view feminine energy in businesses. You don't have to go to war to be in business. You can infuse the female feminine, and she has changed that by crying on her Instagram stories and sharing how life is not perfect, even when you're a billionaire. Like, you've got to embrace the ugly, the good, the bad, the happy, all of it, and share it openly. And when you do, you become more human and people can relate to you. And she's such a beautiful example. And I do that on the daily.
So good. Now, when people are publishing, Instagram stories, do you think it's a mistake if they push it to Facebook stories, or is that okay to do just for stories, just to publish in those places?
I do think that's okay. And for a while, I think my stories are actually linked to my business page. I get so few people watching stories on Facebook, but those that are watching on Facebook might not be on Instagram. And so it doesn't hurt to do that because they go away in 24 hours.
Sure.
I also create Facebook stories on Facebook that are different than Instagram, just to see if just to see same message a little differently, a little creative, like a little different creative flair. And when you capture someone's attention, you capture someone's attention. So
absolutely,
if you enjoy it and it's easy, I think it's totally fine.
Awesome. Now, what are some of the limiting beliefs that you're seeing that are holding people back from making Instagram one of their best marketing platforms?
Well, it's mostly from women. I will be honest, because that is my target market. Are women 40 and older. They feel like they're too old, or they're not pretty enough, or they have wrinkles, or their hair is turning gray, or they don't like the way they sound, and they just, all these noises in their head that just are holding them back because they're afraid of the judgment. And so I'm that confident lady boss that says, fuck it, and go all in on you and be you and do you, and your tribe will find you for all of who you are. And if you are older, guess what? You have wisdom, information, knowledge that needs to be shared in a big ass way. And it's your job to share it.
So good. I know with men, because I coach a lot of men, women too, but a lot of men. It's similar, but it's in a different frame.
What is the frame? I'm curious.
The frame is when I make X amount of money, then I'll be able to, do the video. Really, it comes down. I just had a client in Australia. We went through the same thing. And I asked the guy, I was like, okay, when are you going to be good enough, dude? Like, when are you going to be worthy enough? Because he was like, well, when I make $30,000 a month. And I'm like, you probably said that when you said you started your business and said, when I make $10,000 a month, then I'll have the authority to then go out, and then I won't feel like an imposter and I can do the video. And he was like, damn it, you're right. And I was like, so 30's bullshit. So I was like, how about today you decide, because this is something I know that you teach very heavily, you decide, you're the fucking influencer.
Right.
You're the authority. You make the decision today and go out and create the stories, for him, it's Facebook Live, but still applies here to Instagram. Yeah. And I think, for women, it probably is, it's still like imposter, but it's kind of framed in beauty and image, right?
And also their kids judge them. So yeah. I have 3 daughters, and my twins often would roll their eyes at, I cannot believe my mom's doing this. Like they're embarrassed by us. So, or mom, I can't believe you did it that way. You did it wrong.
Yep.
And so their kids shut them down, and they make them feel inferior or stupid or ridiculous. And then they're like, ugh, shame. And then they don't do it.
Yeah. I think, for all of us who are going to use social media to create our business, we really have to create from this place of, I don't give a fuck what you think about me. And not from a place of pride and egotisticalness. Right. It's literally, I can tell, this was a big thing for me, was learning, it's not that I don't care, it's that I cannot care. It's because I have a heart that cares so deeply that I have to make a decision that I can't care. It's not that I don't care, it's just I can't care because I got fucking people to help, right? And I think a lot of people, men and women both, can really adopt that. Look, I'm choosing to not give a fuck what you think about me, whether it's their children or whether it's their spouses or whether it's the marketplace. And you just go to work, shipping your message, using the tools at the best of your ability, and you're going to be fine.
Yeah, so true. So true.
If somebody takes your advice and they go all in on Instagram this year, what do you think and know is 100% possible for them?
That they can make an impact and grow their own authentic community, their tribe. It might be small at first, but it will ripple effect for sure because they'll start talking about them. They'll build their confidence and they'll make more of an impact and ultimately more income.
Awesome. And what's at stake for them if they choose just to ignore Instagram? They're like, not for me. I'm not doing it. What's at stake for them?
Yeah, I mean, you're just missing out and you're leaving money on the table and opportunities for changing lives. And we're all put on this world for a reason, and life is too short to not live and go all in on yourself and live with regrets. I'm like all about no regrets, baby. Like, do it. You can, and I can help you.
So good. Where can people go find out more about you? I know they got SubiZimmerman.com. They can go find out about there. You have a course, Ready, Set, Gram. Let's just talk about that a little bit.
Sure.
What is Ready, Set, Gram? Where can people go to find that course? I'll tell you right now, it's one of the best Instagram marketing courses on the planet. But I want to hear it, like, what is it?
Yeah. So we designed this kick-ass course that we update every year because thank you, Instagram, for always coming up with all the new changes and features. And so we keep it very, very current. But this is a course for you if you haven't yet made any money on Instagram, or if you're new to Instagram for your business and you've been on it previously for your personal enjoyment, or if you're someone with under 5,000 followers, and you just can't even get to 1,000, this course will really help you fast track all of that. And, like I said earlier about the Facebook group, we have a VIP Facebook group that is fucking gold because every question gets answered. I have a community manager. I go live in there once a month and I tell you, it's called Saturday Snacking with Subi. I tell you about all the updates from the previous month. So you are always current with your updates. Even you don't have to wait a year for the course to be updated. We're constantly keeping you updated. And if Jenny, my community manager, cannot answer questions, I do get in there and answer them because we care. Like AJ said, we really care. And we want to have our responsive rate. I looked at our Facebook, our responsive rate is like 95% responsively. We've got really good ranking on responsiveness.
So
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just, and, I've been teaching Instagram marketing for 7 years, and I come at this space from someone who, like many of your listeners, is a small business owner, an entrepreneur, and I used it personally for my store that I had, my retail store, and I've understood how to grow more awareness to my business and make more money. So
awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, Sue, thank you so much for coming on to the show. And man, just thank you for being you. And you're amazing.
So I'm going to give a little challenge to your listeners, if that's okay.
Yeah, of course.
So I want to make sure that you're all following me over on Instagram at The Instagram Expert. I used to have many different accounts. I only have one now because it keeps me plenty busy, and it's where I teach you new tips every day. And come over and let me know that you listen to this podcast and mention AJ. AJ, your Instagram account doesn't have any dots, right?
No, it's just at AJ Amyx, AMYX. Very simple. But I learned from you. In fact, you helped me create it. So it's quite simple.
Yeah, I was pretty sure you didn't have any underscores or dots. And I'm at The Instagram Expert. So let us know on any of my posts what your biggest takeaway was, and mention AJ, because when you do, he will get that notification and be like, people are listening to this interview and it's a good thing. And that's how I really love to do podcast interviews, is bring it back to Instagram because Instagram's my jam. So thanks for that.
Awesome. Well, we will see you on the gram. And Sue, thank you so much. Enjoy Boston.
Well, there you have it, my friend. Subi Zimmerman in the house, right? I told you, man. I told you. She was going to drop some fire, and she's a rock star. Hope you had a pen and paper handy for the episode because she shared some really, really good stuff. Very actionable things, right? She shared some very actionable steps to help you get more followers and buyers on Instagram. If you want to learn more about Sue, head on over to SubiZimmerman.com. Also, she has an incredible YouTube channel where she drops a new episode every single Monday to teach you current Instagram strategies for business. Now, the videos she releases, they're amazing. Like, they're really good. And I believe that they're better than what most people make you pay for. So right after this podcast, make sure you head on over to YouTube and type in her YouTube handle, which is Subi Zimmerman. And also make sure you go and check that out at youtube.com/Subi Zimmerman. And it's a great show, right? I mean, we covered a lot of information from Instagram story takeovers to ways to use the DM, creating conversations to close sales. And like I said, I can't say this enough. I mean, I know Sue's closed hundreds of thousands of dollars just this year alone using the strategies that she's outlined here. So I know some of the stuff that she's sharing, it's like, it's simple to do, simple not to do. You know, it seems to be the theme of this podcast. But I hope you'll take what she shares here and implement at least one thing into your business, commit to it, see what happens, you know? So, and by the way, just because this podcast is over, it doesn't mean that you have to stop learning about how to get more followers and buyers on Instagram, because Sue has a really, really good training called the 3 Keys to Gaining More Followers and Buyers on Instagram. And you can find that at www.ajamix.com/Instagram, and it's absolutely free. Now, thousands of people have attended that training, and it has raving reviews, and I even helped her craft and put that training together. So I know firsthand it is a very, very solid training. So make sure you go to www.ajamix.com/Instagram to get access to that free training. So there you have it, my friend. Episode number 12 is a wrap. Thanks for tuning in today. I really appreciate you. Hope you're having an amazing, amazing time. Until next time, my friend, I'm out. Peace.
Well, that's all I've got for this episode of the Anthony John Amix podcast, but we have plenty more to help you become unstoppable in life and business. So head on over to ajamix.com for exclusive resources, information, and tools to help you break through to a new level of freedom, purpose, and success. I look forward to having you back for the next episode. Bye for now.